Hello and good evening, everybody. It gives me immense pleasure and I feel very privileged to be a part of Digital Excellence Pharma Academy, a project that is initiated by CredoWeb and Medicine Man. Thank you, Medicine Man and CredoWeb, for inviting me and making me a part of this knowledge sharing and learning webinar series. I'm going to be talking to you today about the most happening, the most relevant, and the most hot topic, that is pharma digital transformation. It's now become the need of the hour, and therefore there are going to be a lot of leadership challenges in spearheading this journey. Before I proceed further, let me introduce myself. My name is K. Hariram. I superannuated as the Managing Director of Galderma India. I have an experience of 4 decades in pharma industry, starting my life as MR and ending up in my last leg for 12 years as the Managing Director of Galderma India. Post my superannuation from 2012 onwards, I have been practicing executive coach and mentor to quite a few CEOs in the pharma industry as well as in other sectors. My contact details are given below. If there is anything that you would like to keep in touch with me or anything that you would like to share, please feel free to do so on this platform or on my contact details that I have provided you. A very interesting quote which I have always liked and I always have quoted, and it reminds me of one thing, that I need to stay relevant, by the great chap who wrote the book Future Shock in 1970, Alvin Toffler. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but he goes on to say that it is those who cannot learn, unlearn and relearn. Wow. So relevant in the current context. There's too much change that is happening in too short a period of time. And therefore, can we afford to sit with our past practices? Can we afford to sit with our past rituals? Can we afford to sit with our past thinking? It is very important for us to understand, therefore, that even if we have spent a lot of time thinking about the future of work, we need to sit down again and it is time to rethink about the future all over again. And imagine this guy talking about it in 1970. So relevant for today's context and so important. I have a very interesting story which I have always liked. The Guru's cat. Let me share with you. When the Guru sat down generally for worship in the evenings along with his disciples, he would suddenly stop in between and ask, has the cat been tied and given milk? It so happened that there was a visitor in the ashram and he was quite curious when he heard this and was wondering what is the significance behind this. He went and checked with one of the elderly gentlemen in the ashram as to what does this mean. The elderly gentleman told that this has been happening for quite a few decades. And there was a Swamiji in those days when he was giving this discourse. Suddenly a cat from nowhere came running and it was disturbing, making a lot of noise. Since he understood that the cat was hungry, he requested the Shishya to tie it and give it a cup of milk. Now this has been going for years together. The old cat died, the Swamiji died, new Swamiji came, they brought a new cat, and it has been going on. Now this brings us to a very, very important question. How often do we land up reflecting on practices and rituals that had a meaning so far and also had a purpose in a given context, and in the changing context may not be relevant or may not make sense. I think it is very important that in this changing context, pharma needs to look at everything. They need to look at their business model. They need to look at the marketing. They need to look at the sales. They need to look at the way they are meeting the doctors. They need to look at how they are promoting. They need to look at the purpose. Are they going to be product centric? Are they going to be customer centric? Are they going to be talking merely about numbers? Or are they going to be talking about experience? All these matters quite a lot. Now, very interesting, I would say, that there is a funny image. I just saw this image first time on Twitter, and this funny image has been circulating right now about a survey that asks, yes, COVID-19 is accelerating, or at least making people sit up and think about digital transformation, knocking through long-standing, resistance and silos. And who is it who is really, making people sit down and think? It's not the CEO, it's not the CTO, it is the COVID-19. Wow. It's more likely to set the agenda and priorities of where the focus of digital transformation efforts has got to be. However, we need to understand that there is still not enough shared knowledge of what digital transformation in pharma actually means. And we need to understand that it is beyond apps, it is beyond websites, and it is also beyond, meaningful webinars, etc. So the key question for leaders are, how is the current pandemic affecting, their organization? And more importantly, how well are they responding to minimize the threats and maximize the opportunities presented by this change? We need to understand that purpose becomes a very, very important aspect. Now, if I fit this into marketing, it is purpose-driven marketing. It's all about defining what a company does beyond making money and how it can make its customers' lives better. I'm just reminded of this image where it talks about that change without purpose is like stew without meat or any vegan ingredient of your choice. Unfortunately, many chefs forget the why and then wonder why their internal customers are returning the dish. Just imagine when marketing tries to bring in certain tactics or they try to bring in, certain aspects, how the sales force is not able to accept, and they feel that it is something, which is not relevant in the context of their own customers. Now, let's look at one thing. One of the questions that often gets asked: fine, are our physicians digital savvy? And I think there is enough survey today, there is enough information, there is enough data that is available, which is able to clearly reflect on the fact that there are more than 60% of the physicians who have become digital savvy. The younger generation has caught on, with that requirement, and they don't mind, today engaging, with the digital platforms. To that extent that, when somebody went with the backache when he was carrying a lot of books, the image very clearly says that the physician prescribed digital textbooks. So the unasked question in the mind is, are we going to be reactive when it comes to this digital transformation? Because COVID-19 has brought us into a situation like this. Are we going to be responsive? And the best would be, of course, being proactive. Now, it is also very relevant and very important for us to understand that it should not be something where we look at as a temporary phenomenon and decide to go back to the old normal, then we would find, that we are going to be left behind in the race. The leadership team has got to now look at as to, does it fit therefore into urgent and important, and how do they expand? Instead of sitting in the circle of concern, how do they expand the circle of influence? And one of the best ways, in my opinion, to increase the circle of one of the best ways to increase the circle of influence is when they set the goals. Should it be where they talk in terms of avoidance goals? No, this is not possible. This is difficult. These are the constraints we have. We don't have the resources. I don't think, we will be able to do it. I don't think, our top leadership is going to accept this. Or are they going to look at approach goals? What are the three things that we are going to be doing? What are the ways by which, we would be able to allocate our resources? How do we find additional resources? What can we do? Can we look at, our own profitability differently? Can we invest? Such questions, would give more approachable ideas rather than looking at avoidable thoughts. And therefore, it is very important for everybody who is going to be leading digital transformation to reset and repurpose their thinking very, very clearly. So, we do have in this journey, and we have to accept the fact that there are going to be challenges. More than technological challenges, which can always be sorted out, there are going to be leadership challenges, and those very challenges are going to be the opportunities. So, if we look at, what are the top digital transformation challenges, it is as good as any organizational transformation challenges. The first and the most important thing in this is finding the right leadership. And there is no doubt that they have to ensure availability of the adequate resources as investment to take this journey forward. Obviously, I'm going to be emphasizing this again. The company culture will have to be re-looked into, and it will have to be changed where necessary. And this also calls for the ability to handle and confront, the real talent, that is required. Handling the competition becomes extremely important, and it cannot be just imitating. They have to take informed, risks. They have to take informed choices. They have to take informed decisions, and they need to be forerunners, and they have to be first movers. They need to differentiate. Engagement of employees becomes the most important aspect, and enhancing the customer experience. So all these challenges will have to be looked at, and all these challenges will become definitely the leadership challenges. But I would rather put it, all these are going to be opportunities. There is a survey that was done talking about the total digital disruption through 2020. The rankings are based on examination of more than 300 companies engaged in digital products, plus additional industry reviews. It's surprising, and maybe not surprising too, that pharmaceuticals is below the middle of the road. And I think, this is very, very relevant and appropriate, because very recently I had the opportunity to be interacting the Chief Digital Transformation Officer of a large MNC pharma company. Based on his knowledge, I asked him as to what is the actual digitalization in pharma sector, particularly in marketing and sales. And based on the budget allocation and the spending, he mentioned to me that it is approximately 15%, which means 85% remain as opportunities. Can we recognize this? Even this 15%, when you go further, one understands that this is more pertaining to specialty drugs, specialty divisions, and those therapy areas where there is a chronicity that is involved, and they have been able to therefore do the digital transformation approach there. Now, there is 85% that is remaining on the other side, and that's what really makes pharma revenues. And we need to think about this, and therefore it becomes extremely important to look at digital transformation journey as the future of pharma. There are three elements that go into digital transformation. Of course, digital transformation team is extremely important to be put in place. You need a digital customer team, the one that is able to really understand what customers prefer. And very important is you need the right and relevant vision and leadership to drive the whole journey. Now, there are catalysts and there are also inhibitors. Let's look at some of them. The catalysts are very interesting. Being digital first, I think one of the biggest catalysts, as I mentioned to you, because it gives you a first mover advantage. Having an integrated vision and therefore providing end-to-end solution makes a huge difference. Obviously, one size would not fit all, and therefore innovation as a part of the culture, and encouraging innovation becomes one of the important leadership opportunity. It also gives an opportunity to expand markets because you can reach through different medium, you can reach through different channels. Very relevant and very important is you need to decide where the consumers are. And you need to bring in disruptive technologies, because technology, as you would see in another slide of mine, exponentially grows. New digital touch points are required. Consumer insights becomes extremely important. And naturally, there is something called as digital Darwinism. Digital Darwinism is nothing but an era where technology and society are evolving faster than businesses can naturally adapt. And this sets the stage for a new era of leadership, a new generation of business models, charging behind a mantra of adopt or perish. Then the journey is not going to be linear. We need to understand that. And very important is that we need to empower the internal collaboration. And this is what is going to help in terms of bringing the alignment and bringing excellent output in the digital transformation journey. Obviously, we need to understand that there are also going to be certain inhibitors. The identified inhibitors are budget, definitely resources. One has to find an optimal approach to the whole thing. Education, learning becomes very important. Not having an internal engagement and therefore people working in silos. Tunnel vision restricts thinking. Self-defense mechanism. Not having dedicated resources, both in terms of money as well as in terms of people. And there is no paradigm for new data. And therefore, there would be no understanding and there would be no curiosity. Lack of prioritization and not having integrated strategies. And of course, as I mentioned to you earlier too, silos is going to be the biggest enemy when it comes to digital transformation. Now, recognizing these inhibitors helps in terms of being proactive, building an organizational structure, and fostering a culture that is going to help in terms of working your way around these inhibitors. Now, as I have mentioned to you very, very clearly, there are top challenges that are facing digital transformation, and obviously the percentage is high in number. Now, what is very important for us to understand is that we need to realize that people cannot work with yesterday's knowledge, people cannot work with yesterday's skills, and more importantly, as Mr. Anup Sons mentioned in his first two talks, people cannot work with yesterday's mindset. So upskilling becomes very, very important in making sure that this journey is successful. If I have to put it in a nutshell, the biggest challenges of digital transformation with a very high percentage involve changing the company culture as a challenge. So changing the culture certainly is going to be a very big challenge, but it is a great opportunity because culture eats strategy for breakfast. And culture starts from the top. And it is everybody's baby. We need to understand that. Stop confusing customer experience with hit and run campaigns. Think beyond the campaign mentality. Excuse me. We need to understand that cross collaboration department is certainly challenging. So it takes a team to change, but team dynamics generally work against working together. So how do you bring this goal congruence? How do you make it purpose driven? So all these are factors that would involve leadership initiatives. And 51% somewhat feel lack of data represents a challenge. Now, how do we get this data? In our context of pharma, it is improving customer experience, and we start knowing what the customer wants, what the customer needs, what are his preferences, what are his practices, what are his values, what kind of channels would he look at, what is the medium in which he is comfortable with, and how digitally savvy they are. There was a very, very recent article that reinforced what I have been talking to you so far, that digital transformation is about talent and not technology alone. Contrary to popular belief, digital transformation, let me reinforce, is less about technology and more about people. A very interesting graph that you will find, which talks about the fact that the great management dilemma of the 21st century is the relationship between these two curves. The one curve, that is technology, changes exponentially, whereas organizations change logarithmically. So technology is changing faster than organization can absorb change. How does the leadership intervene and spearhead in ensuring that there is a certain amount of alignment that is brought about? And this calls, as I mentioned to you earlier, also about being nimble, being agile, and being fast. There is a formula for change very, very clearly. The leaders have to understand this. The most important thing being the need to change. It cannot just remain as an intent. One has to really feel, the fire in the belly. One has to feel the burning desire, looking at the context, clear vision and goals, capability to change, and they have to take the concrete first step. All these four put together, if they are in the right proportion, it's certainly going to bring about successful change. Depending upon what ingredient is missing, then it is going to range from slow start to lack of coordination to frustration and lack of action. One of the reasons why quite a few digital transformation journey fails because of one or the other of these ingredients that are missing. So being forewarned is being forearmed. So the leaders have to look at all these ingredients, and I've got to make sure that they are able to build this into their structure, and the initiatives that are taken align, with these requirements. Now, the most important thing that we talk about is goals, clear vision and goals. Yes, we are used to conventionally building our SMART goals, KPIs, annual reviews, etc. But today, in this changing context and in this challenging scenario, what we need to look at are fast goals. Fast goals are something that are frequently discussed. They are certainly ambitious, but very specific and very relevant and very important is they are transparent. That's what will really bring about the engagement right in a better way. Now, these are some of the ingredients which I have already discussed with you, but what I would like to mention here is talent, very, very important. We need to look at the right people. Very important is building the trust, and there cannot be a trust deficit in the transformation journey, and these can be very well enabled by having or marrying the right technology. Let me sum up my talk by saying that finally, as new business models emerge from the crisis, can you become the nexus of a new emerging ecosystem that is built for the new normal? Now, is it the new normal that we are talking about, or are we talking about the next normal? I think we are already, getting into the next normal, and this is not certainly going to be a straight line, pathway. So, my famous quote, which I always love, I keep, thinking about this every day during these times: let go of certainty. The opposite isn't uncertainty, it is openness, curiosity, and willingness to embrace paradox. I'm certainly going to be sharing with you more about these leadership challenges in my future webinars. If you have anything to share, as I mentioned to you earlier, please feel free to share in your comment box. It would greatly help me to address in future if there are anything that I have missed out in the current context. Thank you so much, all of you, for listening to me, and I hope this would certainly be of help in triggering your thinking and helping you to act. Thanks a lot. Have a great evening.